Vratny-Smith. Today's yoga practice is going to be focused on grounding and engaging with our root chakra. We'll start with warming up our body as we typically do, neck and shoulders and twisting and things like that. And then we'll move into our root chakra practice. Let's have your strap and blocks available as options this morning. I am basing our practice today off of Anodea Judith's Chakra Yoga for the root chakra. So just helping us get grounded and rooted and be able to feel that, kind of find that balance with all the full moon and wind energy that is happening around us. All right. Finding our comfortable seat. We will, you can have a blanket or pillow underneath the hips to help tilt the pelvis forward, supporting the torso. And let's begin rubbing the palms of our hands together, bringing focus and energy into the palms. And then take the fingertips and gently brush them across the forehead, temples, and cheeks, brushing away any worries or expectations. Bring the fingertips to the eyes, palms to the cheeks, turning your attention inward. And take a couple of deep cleansing breaths. When you're ready, you can float your hands down, either keeping your eyes closed or gazing softly downward. Lift your heart with each inhaling breath. Sitting bones sinking toward the earth with each exhale. We'll tune in with 3 ohms. Feel free to join in or just absorb the vibrations. Take another deep breath in. Hold. 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 Take a moment to absorb the vibrations of the mantra as it connects us all as one. Allow yourself to settle here this Saturday morning and set an intention for your practice, something you'd like to nurture or cultivate within yourself. Bringing your awareness back to the breath. Allow each inhale to bring you here, to this room, to this moment. Allow each exhale to release anything not needed for your practice today. With your next inhaling breath, allow the belly to soften and expand. And as you exhale, draw the belly toward the back. Follow your body's rhythm, expanding on the inhale, contracting on the exhale. With your next inhaling breath, expand the belly and open the ribs, reaching them out to the sides. And as you exhale, contract the belly and relax the ribs. Follow your body's rhythm, expanding and opening, contracting and relaxing. With your next inhale, expand the belly, open the ribs, and lift the chest, creating space for your heart. And as you exhale, contract, relax, and lower. Continue this full deep breath, expanding your lungs in all directions with each inhale, completely releasing the breath with each exhale. If you'd like, you can begin envisioning the breath coming up and down the spine as you continue your full breath. Inhaling, drawing up energy from the earth through the tailbone, all the way up to the crown of the head. And exhale, releasing down through each chakra, allowing anything not needed to flow out into the earth, renewing and cleansing through the breath. As you feel and enhance your connection to the earth. Excuse me. Take one more full, complete breath. And when you reach the end of your exhale, gently return to your natural breath. Taking a moment to notice any changes you feel in your mind or body. Remembering that our breath is always with us to help find those moments of peace and calm. Bringing your awareness to your right hand, allow the tips of the thumb and pointer finger to come together and bring those fingertips to your heart center. Turning your attention deeper inward toward your heart, looking within for your inner light and your inner joy. As you find that connection with the light within you, allow its warm glow to flow on the breath throughout your entire body. As you find that connection with your inner joy, allow it to radiate up onto your face in a smile. Then breathe it out into the space around you. As we continue our practice, allow your light and joy to flow through each breath and movement, honoring all that you are in each moment. When you're ready, you can float your hand down, gently open your eyes, and we'll switch our legs if that feels comfortable. I'm going to put a block under my knee because it's needing a little extra support today. And I apologize, my voice is a little in and out today, so I'm not quite sure what that's, but we will work through it. All right. With your next inhaling breath, let's scrunch the shoulders up by our ears. And as you exhale, press the shoulders back and down. Inhale, lift and squeeze. Exhale, back and down. Inhale, lift and squeeze. And exhale, back and down. Bring the hands in front of the chest, palms facing down, tucking the shoulders back and down, lifting the heart, engaging the muscles around the scapula and the shoulder blade. Strengthening, noticing if one side is weaker or stronger than the other, and seeing if you can find balance in the intensity of engaging those sides. Often with our dominant hand, we're pulling forward for computers or writing, and the muscles around that scapula on that side tend to get stretched out a little bit, lengthened a little, so sometimes you can have that imbalance. Then let's press the elbows back toward each other, lifting the heart a little bit, gently squeezing the center of the shoulder blades together, bringing out any tension. And opening the arms wide, turning the palms up, lift the heart a little more, draw the shoulder blades down, thinking about drawing the lower corners of the shoulder blades toward each other. And if it feels okay, flexing the wrists, pressing through the palms. Let's bring the arms in front. We'll cross the right over the left, Bending at the elbows or left hand around the right wrist or hands at the shoulders. Lifting the elbows up to shoulder height as you drop the shoulders away from the ears. Gently squeezing the arms together. Pressing the elbows forward as you breathe into the upper back. If it feels okay, you can begin to lower and lift the elbows, extending that stretch around the shoulders. And if it feels okay, with your next inhale, lifting the elbows a little higher, gently arching. And as you exhale, round. With your next inhale, lift up tall. Unwrapping the arms, opening wide, pressing through the palms if that feels okay. Squeezing down toward the lower corners of the shoulder blades. And then we'll cross the left over the right, bending at the elbows, hands back to back, or right hand around the left wrist, or elbows, hands at the shoulders. Lifting the elbows up to shoulder height, dropping the shoulders away from the ears, gently squeezing the arms together, breathing into the upper back. And if it feels okay, you can begin to lower and lift the elbows, sending that stretch around the shoulders. And with your next inhale, lifting the elbows a little higher, gently arching. And as you exhale, round. With your next inhale, come back to center. And unwrapping the arms, we'll extend the arms out to the side and make some circles with the wrist. And reverse those circles. We'll interlace the fingers, pressing the palms out in front of us. Round the shoulders, drop the chin, rounding the spine. With your next inhale, lift the palms up higher. And exhale, round. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift. This time as you exhale, dropping the chin, softening the elbows, rolling the shoulder blades back toward each other, squeezing the upper corners of the shoulder blades, wringing out any tension. Pressing through the palms a little higher if that feels okay for your shoulders and elbows. Softening the jaw, releasing the back of the neck. And with your next inhale, lift the chin. And as you exhale, float the hands down. Let's bring the left hand to the right knee, right hand behind the right hip. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, gently twisting toward the left. Lift and twist with the breath. With your next inhale, lift the right arm up toward by the ear. And with your exhale, reach across the body, dropping that right hip toward the mat, lifting the heart, reaching across through the fingertips. And with the next inhale, lift up tall, floating the hand down, and exhale back to the center. We'll take a breath in and out. And we'll bring the right hand to the left knee, left hand behind the left hip, face forward, deep breath in. And as you exhale, gently twist toward the left, head comes around left, lifting the heart with each inhale, twisting gently through the exhale. Hold and breathe. With your next inhale, sweep the left arm up by the ear, lengthening. And as you exhale, reach across the body. Left hip drops toward the mat, lifting the heart, fingertips reaching across the ceiling. Rooting through your sitting bones as you lift and reach. And with your next inhale, lift up tall. And as you exhale, float the hand down, coming back to the center. All right. So now that we're a little warmed up, we'll shift into working with our root chakra practice. We're going to start on our backs as this, and we'll need to have your strap available as we begin here. So we'll gently roll the spine down, tucking the shoulders under. Just extending the legs for a moment. Allow the weight of your body to sink into the floor. Noticing where you're trying to hold it up, and see if you can soften around those edges and gently let go. Feeling all the different places where your body connects to the earth. The back of the head, the shoulder blades and back of the arms, the buttocks and the back of the legs, the heels. With your next exhale, see if there's any place you can let go and feel connected just a little bit more. The root chakra is our foundation. It helps us stay grounded and connected to the earth. It's generally associated with the color red. And the sound that's associated with it is the sound of LAM, L-A-M. So during our practice today, if you would like, you're welcome to either be thinking or chanting that sound of LAM as a way to stay connected with your root chakra. Let's go ahead and bend our knees. And we'll bring the knees over the torso, placing the hands on the knees. Let's make some gentle circles with the low back, if that feels okay. If it doesn't feel good to be making the circles and it feels better to maybe just rock from side to side, please go ahead and do that. It's beginning to warm up the lower body. We already warmed up our upper body. And if you're making circles, go ahead and reverse. And then gently coming back to the center. We'll bring the feet to the floor and take hold of the strap. We're going to wrap the strap around the arch of the right foot, extending that leg up toward the sky. I encourage you to think about letting the sacrum and the hip drop into the mat. And gently pulling a little bit with the strap. Begin to reach the leg away from the floor and push into the strap. So just a little bit, not overdoing. You can allow the foot to flex a little more, feeling that lengthening all the way into the Achilles tendon here, if that feels okay for you. And rooting, dropping that hip down, and then lifting up through the heel. And think about lengthening your spine and notice what's happening with your shoulders. Sometimes they want to pull up here. Allow them to soften. We'll extend the left leg out. And let's bring the strap into the right hand. Nope, I apologize. Into the left hand and allow the right arm to drop out to the side. We're going to lower the left leg with the strap across the body, bringing that left elbow to the mat or to the floor, and then allowing the foot to release into the strap. And you can adjust this at whatever angle feels right for your body. So your strap may be longer, your foot may be extended down toward the lower body more. It may be straight out from the hip, or it may be up higher. Really just whatever works for your body right now. Softening through that right hip. Again, trying to let the weight of the body, the weight of the leg, be held up by the strap. So your left arm is engaged. If it feels okay for your neck, you can gently turn it to the right, giving that a nice little stretch. And we'll gently lift the leg back to the center. Switching our hands, placing the strap in the right hand and making sure you have room out to the side. We'll allow that right leg to drop out to the side, bringing the right elbow to the floor, holding the leg in the strap. I did not create enough space today, so I'm going to let mine rest against my couch on this side. Softening around the hip. Keeping this left hip rooted. Letting the weight of the leg be supported by the strap. Allow your breath to deepen and slow. And then using the strap, we'll gently bring the leg back to the center. We'll bend the knee, releasing the strap, extending that leg out, Just taking a breath in and out, noticing what's the same or different between the legs. And we'll bend both legs again, bringing the strap onto the arch of the left leg and extending that leg up toward the sky. Dropping that left hip into the mat, reaching through the heel, allowing the foot to flex as much as feels okay. See if you can create some space in the back of the leg. Allowing the strap as you pull on it gently to create a little resistance for you to push against as you lengthen and find that space. Then we'll bring the strap into the right hand. Extending that right leg. We'll let the left arm fall out to the side, palm facing down. And then we'll gently drop that left leg across the right side of the body, releasing the weight of the leg into the strap. Again, adjusting to whatever angle feels okay for your body, for your hip. Keeping the right arm engaged to hold the strap as you release the leg. And we'll gently bring that that strap, sorry, bring the leg back to the center using the strap. Switching hands, we'll bring the strap into the left hand, bringing the right arm out to the side, and then gently dropping the left leg out to the side. Left elbow comes to the floor, and releasing the weight of the leg into the strap. Again, at whatever angle feels right for you. Noticing where you can let go. And I'll gently bring the leg back to the center and releasing the strap, bringing both feet to the mat. We'll place the strap to the side, tucking the shoulders under. Pardon me, too much on my wrist here today. All right, tucking the shoulders under, arms alongside the body, placing the feet about hip width apart. We'll work with bridge pose, rooting the shoulders back into the mat, pressing the feet into the mat, separating each side of that bridge. With your next inhale, we'll scoop the pelvis, rolling the spine up one vertebrae at a time, pressing the hips up high. And as you exhale, gently rolling the spine down. Inhale, scoop and lift. Exhale, rolling down. Inhale, scoop and lift. This time, if it feels okay, you can hold and breathe. If that doesn't feel okay, you can continue coming up and down or rest. And if you'd like to add a chest opener, you can bring the hands together, interlacing the fingers, pressing the palms together, rolling the shoulders underneath the back, and either keeping the elbows bent or extending the arms. You can also use your strap here if it doesn't feel good to have your hands together, rolling those shoulders under as far as feels okay, and using the strap to help provide that rooting for the hands, something for them to be connected to. Hips are reaching high, chin is slightly away from the chest so that we don't hyperextend the back of the neck. We're rooted at two ends as the hips reach high. And we'll release the hands or strap, roll the shoulders out, and gently roll the spine down. Take a breath in. As you exhale, tuck the pelvis, pressing the low back into the mat, engaging the belly muscles. Inhale, release. Exhale, tuck. Inhale, release. Exhale, tuck. Inhale, release. And let the breath go. Let's extend the legs out. We're going to move the hips to the side and just roll over onto our bellies. And we'll work with locust pose. So bringing the chin or forehead to the mat, we'll bring the arms alongside the body. You can rock the hands underneath the mat with the palms facing up on the thighs. Or if it feels okay for your wrists and shoulders, you can also put the palms down instead. So just find whichever version feels right for you. Rooting the pelvic bone down into the mat. We're going to let the upper body be heavy. Really focusing on lifting only the lower body, although sometimes the upper body will come up a little here. So with your next inhaling breath, let's lift the right leg up behind us. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Hold and breathe if that feels okay, or continue coming up and down. Dropping that right hip into the mat, letting the glutes and the leg and the low back do the work. With your next exhaling breath, lower that right leg. Take a breath in and out. Pressing the pelvis into the mat with your next inhaling breath, lift the left leg up behind you. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Hold and breathe if that feels okay, or continue coming up and down, listening to your body. Dropping that left hip toward the mat, using the glutes and the low back to lift the leg. And with the next exhale, gently lower, taking a breath in and out. Next, we'll lift both legs together. And if that doesn't feel okay for your low back today, if it feels like too much strain, I would encourage you to lift one leg and then the other. So just alternating as I lift together. So taking a breath in and out, pressing the pelvic bone into the mat. With your next inhale, lift both legs behind you. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. And once more, lift and lower. We'll rock the hands out from under the legs, bringing them underneath the shoulders. Zipping our legs together, pelvic bone pressed into the mat. Moving into cobra. So we're staying rooted through that root chakra, grounded down as we move the exterior parts of the body. With your next inhale, let's lift the head and chest into a gentle cobra. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. If it feels okay, you can hold and breathe, rolling those shoulders back and down, lengthening through the neck. And again, if it feels okay, you could lift the hands off of the mat. Keeping the lower body rooted and engaged. And with your next exhale, gently lower down. Let's press into the hands, coming onto our hands and knees. And let's work with just a little small cat-cows, focusing on the low back. Just tilting and arching, just rocking, stretching out those muscles after using them. Then I'm gonna take off my socks so I have some more grip. We'll walk our hands out a little further, tuck our toes under, and press our hips up into downward dog. Rooting through the balls of the feet, let's bend the knees as we work on the upper body first, pressing the hips back behind us, lengthening through the spine. Head falls between the arms with the chin gently away from the chest. And rotating the shoulder blades back toward each other, externally rotating the arms, helping to protect that shoulder joint. Then gently beginning to lengthen the back of the legs by dropping the heels toward the mat just as far as feels okay. Belly muscles draw up toward the back as we press the hips high. Finding balance between the heels of the hand and the balls of the feet. Imagining The tailbone lifting lightly up toward the sky as it lengthens the back of the body. Let's take 2 more slow breaths. And let's gently begin to walk our hands toward our feet, coming into Uttanasana forward bend. And if you'd like to grab a block to place under your hands for support, please go ahead and do that. Softening the knees, lengthening the spine. We'll press into the feet and allow the torso to fold over just as far as feels okay. As you push into the feet, letting the sitting bones reach up toward the sky. So you may or may not be able to fully extend your legs, and that's totally fine. But if you think about lifting the sitting bones versus straightening the legs, you can get that nice subtle release around the top of the hamstrings where the sitting bones connect. If it feels okay, releasing the head, letting the neck soften, even shake the head a little side to side to make sure those muscles are releasing. Legs are strong and softening at the same time. One more breath. And we'll soften the knees. Roll the spine up one vertebrae at a time. Head comes up left, shoulders up and back and down. Taking a moment to notice how that feels. We're gonna grab your block, actually probably both blocks. And we're gonna step forward with our right foot, bringing those blocks down to the mat then on either side of the foot. You can have them at whatever height works best for you. It could be the tall, medium, the low. Just giving ourselves that extra space today. We'll come up to the toes of the back foot, then dropping into a lunge. We want to keep that right knee stacked over the right ankle. Blocks giving us a little more space, lengthening the spine, softening through the front of the right hip, rooting into that right foot as you reach back through the left. Notice if your shoulders have rolled up or forward and see if you can tuck them down the back. Take one more breath. We'll drop that left knee toward the mat and rock the right hip back. Lengthening that front leg, we can walk the hands and the blocks back, lengthening through the spine. If it feels okay, you could roll up onto the heel, feeling that stretch shift into the calf. And if it feels okay for your body, you could also fold the torso down. Otherwise, keep it up, supported with the blocks and the arms. Only folding if it feels okay for you. We'll bring that foot back down, walk our blocks back toward that right foot. Lifting the left foot off the floor, we'll step the right foot back into plank for just a moment. And then we'll step forward with that left foot. Dropping the hip into the lunge, just as far as feels okay. Adjusting the blocks, it might need to be different on this side, higher or lower, depending on how you're feeling on this side of the body. Rooting through the left foot, reaching back through the right heel. Softening through the front of the hip. And we'll drop that right knee down and gently rock the left hip back. Again, walking those blocks back, lengthening through the spine. Reaching back through the hip. And roll the toes up if that feels okay. And again, either keep the spine lengthening out or fold over the leg, whatever feels right for you. And we'll gently bring that left foot back to the mat, walking the hands or the blocks toward it. Tuck the toes of the right foot under and step forward toward the mat or toward the other foot. Folding over one more time, Uttanasana. And with your next inhale, sweep the arms out and up, palms together over the head. Exhale, hands to the heart. Let's take one block and we're going to place it between our knees, working with chair pose. I'll turn sideways here for you. Lengthening the spine tall. We'll inhale the arms up over our head. Let's cactus the elbows and bend the knees as we lower into our chair pose. Tucking those shoulder blades down the back, thinking about gently squeezing the knees together toward the block, rooting into the feet. If this doesn't feel good for your shoulders, you can always bring the hands to the heart. And if you'd like, you could always bring the arms up by the ears again too. I like to do the cactus pose because again, it strengthens through the upper back as we're working on the legs. If it feels okay, you could drop those hips a little bit more. Let's take 2 more breaths. And with your next inhale, lift up tall and float the hands down. We'll move that block. Take a moment to work with goddess pose. So we'll spread our legs nice and wide. We rooted with the legs together, now with them apart. Toes are going to point toward those front corners of the long end of your mat. We'll bend our knees so the knees are coming out over the toes or that direction. Spine is tall. Again, starting in that horse pose, like you're sitting down on the horse. You can stay here, or you could bring the hands to the heart, or you could bring the arms out to the side, the elbows bent, palms turned up. Rooting into the earth, lengthening up through the crown of the head, soften the shoulders, drawing in that lunar feminine energy of the full moon. If it feels okay, you could play around with lifting one heel and then the other, or both heels, whatever feels right for your body. allowing you to find that feminine strength within you. And we'll lower those heels, float the hands down and lengthen the legs. And walking those back to the center. We'll shake those out. Pardon me. And then let's move into tree as our balance pose. If you'd like to use a wall or a chair for support, please have the wall behind you or a chair by your side. Well, let's actually start with our feet together. We haven't done this in a while, just to kind of again check our own hip width placement. So feet together to begin with. We'll bring our toes out to 10 and 2 as though they were on a clock. And then lifting the heels and bringing those in line with the toes. And that is our own personal hip width apart. So pushing the feet into the mat, lifting the spine up tall, shoulders back and down, just finding that strong mountain pose to begin with. Find a focus spot for your gaze. We'll shift our leg to the right, our weight to the right leg, softening that knee, turning the right knee out to the side. Can rest the heel against the leg, toes on the floor like a kickstand, or gently lifting the toes for balance. You could put the foot at the calf or into the groin if that feels, whichever feels best and a steady place that you can find for today. When you find your steady place, bring the hands to the heart. Rooting through that left foot, lifting up through the crown of the head, reaching up through out of that left hip slightly. We can grow our branches, palms together or apart if that feels okay. Rooting and reaching, finding our center. And bring the hands back to the center and lower that right leg down, shaking that leg out. Coming back into our mountain pose, balancing on both feet. Shifting our weight to the right leg, turning the left knee out to the side. Again, either kickstanding, lifting the toes, bringing the foot to the calf, or the foot into the groin. Using that focus spot, rooting into the right foot as you lift up through the right hip and reach to the crown of the head. And if it feels okay, you can grow those branches up, palms together or apart, whatever feels right for you. Softening around the shoulders, rooting and rising. And we'll bring the hands back to the heart, lowering that left leg down. We'll shake those legs out. Let's come back to the floor. We're going to take our block and place it between our lower legs so we can sit back on it. If that doesn't feel good for you, that you can add your second block to have that be higher, just depending on how your knees are feeling. You can sit here in the hero pose. Again, rooting, a little bit of stretching here. If it feels okay, you could bring the hands back. And you can Thinking about kind of pushing up with the hips, it allows those um, thighs, quadriceps to stretch. Um, if that doesn't feel good, I'm thinking about your knees, Sarah. Instead of the hips, the blocks underneath the hips, you can also maybe lift here so that you get a little bit of that stretch. Whoops, sorry, it pushed on my phone or on my watch. A little bit of that stretch of the front of the thighs here. So whichever variation feels right for you. Another option, if you're feeling like you have a lot of space today, is coming down onto the elbows or laying onto the back. And you can have that block, that second block behind you or not. But that might feel like too much intensity for knees or thighs. So listen to your body. So finding your space, just take a couple of breaths there. And then we'll remove that block and come the rest of the way down onto our seats. We will extend both legs out and then cross the right ankle over the left thigh. Ooh, I really got mixed up there for a sec. You can bring the right foot into the left palm or bring the foot into the forearm or at the crease of the elbow. Right arm out to the side, wrapping around, holding that right knee, or if it feels okay, you can also interlace the fingers. Whew, I don't know what happened to my words. And then we'll gently rock. Just lubricating those hips. Allowing us to be rooted and grounded through the sitting bones. Gently hugging the leg toward the body as much as feels okay. And then lowering the leg down. We'll cross the left ankle over the right thigh. Can place that foot in the right hand or forearm or at the crease of the elbow. Left arm comes out to the side and either takes hold of the leg at the knee or wraps around so the hands can interlace. And again, gently rocking. Finding that space that feels right for your body. Rooting through the sitting bones. And then we'll gently release that leg down. We'll take hold of our strap. Get these out of the way. And let's extend our right leg out, bringing the left leg in toward the groin. We'll take the strap around the arch of the foot, that right foot. Lifting the spine up tall, soften the shoulders, reach through the heel, and gently pull back with the strap, just as with as much intensity as feels okay for your body. Thinking about lengthening the back of the leg. Gently pressing the sitting bones in the right hip back as you reach out through the right heel. And then, if it feels okay, you can begin hinging at the hip and gently walking the hands a little closer on the strap, softening around any edges of tightness or tension. Listening to your body, not going too far. As you reach your next exhale, if it feels okay, you can let go a little bit more. Allowing the breath to lead you. And with your next inhale, lift up tall. We'll release the strap, bringing the left hand a few inches away from the left hip. We'll bring that right arm over the ear, opening the counter pose. You could keep the hips on the floor, or if it feels okay to lift onto that left knee and wrist, you can do that as well. Then we'll gently lower back down. We'll switch our legs. Right foot bent in toward the groin, left leg extended. And we'll bring that strap around the left foot. Lengthening the spine up tall. Gently pressing back through that left hip and reaching away through the left heel. Pushing against the strap just with as much as intensity as feels okay. Notice what's happening with the upper body. Make sure the shoulders aren't sliding up by the ears. Adding a little resistance with the strap as you push that foot away. Lengthening through the back of the leg. And then if it feels okay with your next exhale, hinging at the hip, walking the hands a little closer. Breathing in and out. Softening around the edges with each exhale. And with your next inhale, lift up tall. We'll release the strap, bringing the right hand on the outside of the right hip. Inhale the left arm up by the ear, and exhale, reaching across. Again, either keeping the hip down, or if it feels okay to come up onto the knee and wrist, you can do that. And then we'll gently lower down. And let's come down to our hands and knees for a moment. Can either sit back into child's pose or keep the hips stacked over the knees into reclined puppy. Finding the version that feels right for you. You could also add a blanket behind your knees as a little support with the child's pose if that feels better for your knees as well. Resting your forehead on the mat or on a block or stacked fists. Release the back of the neck. With each exhale, release the weight of the body to the earth. With each inhale, feel yourself drawing up whatever energy you need from the earth. Strength, courage, patience. Allow that energy to gently surround and comfort you. Allow yourself to surrender in this moment. Nothing to do, nowhere to go. Just being supported and comforted by the earth. Bring the hands under the shoulders. Let's roll the spine up, one vertebrae at a time. Shoulders back and down. And then we'll move into Shavasana. So shifting onto our backs, covering up a little. Rolling the spine back. You can either have your feet at the edges of the mat with the knees resting together, or extending the legs out, having a bolster or blanket under the knees if that feels good. Arms slightly away from the body with the palms turned up. Tucking the shoulders under, lengthening the neck. Relax your forehead. Soften your eyes. Loosen your jaw. Bring your awareness back to the breath. Allowing each inhale to fill you with a sense of peace and calm. Allowing each exhale to release anything that no longer serves you. Release your muscles from the bones, surrendering them to the earth. Feeling its strength and support beneath you. If you'd like to receive Reiki through the rest of Shavasana, please open yourself to receive that now. Let the breath bring you back to your heart center, reconnecting with the light and joy that always reside deep within your heart. Let each breath fill your heart with loving kindness for yourself. Sending that loving kindness to each and every cell of your body, honoring all of who you are in this moment. Gently begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Stretch in whatever way feels comfortable for you. When you're ready, you can gently bend your knees. Roll to one side and rest there for a moment. And then gently return to a seated position. We'll end with a metta blessing of loving kindness. Please feel free to join in. May all beings be safe. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings have peace. May all beings awaken to the light of their true nature. May all beings be free. The light in me honors the light in you. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. For our world, for our community, and for ourselves. Thank you all so much for joining me today and taking this time for yourself. I hope that root chakra practice helps you feel more grounded and rooted. Find a little balance.